This one gets maybe a little more personal. How involved do you want your donors to be with the work of your organization? And how do you handle a donor when he has a good idea? And how do you handle a donor when he has a bad one? He or she has a bad one.
So it's easy for us, actually. It really is, because more and more tourism is coming to the Omo Valley. And we just had some visitors to the home last week, in fact, a family from Rancho Santa Fe. And for us, it's easy because we've got 46 beautiful kids, and once you visit our home, I'm serious, and you see these beautiful kids, it melts your heart. And you know, we're struggling to raise enough money to put a roof over their heads and to feed them and to educate them. But the best thing for us is to get people there on the ground to see these kids and to see the experience. I just want to touch briefly too, for us, reproductive health, but especially some way to contraception is very, very important, because one of the reasons they kill children in the Omo Valley is if a child is born to an unwed mother. So we spend a lot of time trying to educate the local people as to what contraception is. Unfortunately, condoms aren't available. You know, there's very limited resources. So trying to teach abstinence is a challenge. It's not an easy answer. It's just, all you have to do is read the book and put the condom on. It's not
that many steps to it. It's pretty straightforward. It's a short book.
You know, some places they're available, some places they're not.
So that's great. For you, for that kind of donor experience, it's really simple and straightforward. Perhaps for David and Neil, it's maybe a little more complicated, but maybe not. Maybe you want to talk about that.
I mean, I'll say a couple of things here. I mean, first of all, I'll start with the end, because it allows me actually to quote Star. We had a chance to have lunch today. And so these are her words, not mine, but she's right. There are no bad ideas. There are only premature ideas. You know, which is sometimes true, right? So if a person understands your mission, in our case, it's about reading. People typically come to us with fairly clear, you know, we like engaged donors, right? Because they come to us with ideas, they come with all sorts of things, and we have mechanisms, just as you do, John. We have a relationship, for example, with Abercrombie and Kent that runs an annual trip. We just did our first one a couple of months ago. Brian, our development director, went on it with 6 donors, literally 60% seeing wildlife through Tanzania and Kenya, 40% visiting our schools, watching the kids read and getting engaged in that way. So to a certain extent, if you have an engaged donor who really wants to learn, they will come to you with good ideas. They will come to you with ideas that are very, very aligned with your mission. Now, they may come at a time where it doesn't, you know, so much work for you, or you don't have the resources, and you end up having a conversation. And I'll give you one very quick example. I can give you the example of Star, actually. It's a good example. 4 years ago, she and her son Dylan allowed us to work in a school in Kibera, in the slums of Kenya, Nairobi, the Kibera School for Girls, with a product that we have called the Blue Box, 50 e-readers and cases and lights. So it was a very good partnership, and Star got a chance to go with Dylan and her mother to go see the one. Got even more engaged in that way. She's also, for many years, along with her son, been very interested in the refugee crisis. Now, refugees, we did not have a good program for refugees, and she encouraged us to be interested in that, and frankly, the timing wasn't right. But over time, through some support of hers, but also through some sort of internal knowledge building, we've started to develop some work that we think might actually be useful for refugees, and in some meetings we've had very recently, we hope to develop that program. So there's a little bit of a give and take. We like engaged donors. We like engaged donors in particular, ones that really, of course, take the time to understand what we're doing. And we sometimes find that our most interesting ideas come from them. My advice is always to donors, by the way, is if you're not sure, ask. You know, if you're not sure what an organization wants and can really best use, just ask.
And our experience is I mean, actually, we have a pretty easy time. Like I said at the beginning, we're a very diverse organization. You know, we work all around the world, but we work in all sorts of different areas, right? And have to, because the problems are unique in the areas where we work. So for us, people can come to us and say, you know, I want to work in Africa. Well, okay, we got a whole list of things that you can work in. Or people can come to us and say, you know, I'm really only interested in providing water, and you know, I want to do a water project. Okay, we can do that too. We've had people come to us with, you know, our Women Empowered program started by a tremendous donation from a couple of, first it was 2 million, and then they added 5 million. I mean, we're in 19 countries around the world doing women's social and economic empowerment, and they led the charge on that. My foundation right now is does not have millions of dollars to give away. We give away about my own personal foundation. We give away about $250,000 a year. We're talking with PCI on a project that they're designing around our ability to donate that is bringing enhanced information and communications technology to some of our offices. So like, for instance, when we had the Ebola outbreak, it was incredibly difficult to communicate back and forth with the medical staff. So that was a problem that my family is interested in doing, and we're working with the CFO and their Vice President of Information Technology to design a program that our family's interested and they need. And then, you know, we get all the way down to, we've had people come to us and say, you know, hey, I've got $5,000 and I'm interested in maternal health, right? Okay, well, we've got the Casa Materna in the Western Highlands of Guatemala, and, you know, we need a portable ultrasound machine, and it's $5,000, right? You can buy that for them. We you know, their budget doesn't have that in as a line item, and they need it. They would love it. So it's easy to find things, and then of course Uli, our development manager, would probably kick me in the rear if I didn't say that we love unrestricted money. So Uli, so I said it. But it's one of these things from my personal experience. You know, what I would say is you know, you should look at a passion, right? You should look at something you want to do, something that you know a little bit about or would want to learn more about, and find somebody who does that. You can certainly have some great people here. And, you know, as they both have said, come up, talk about it. You know, these things, the programs get designed every day, and it's easy to do. It's easy to do.
Let me, I'd like to leave it there for now, and
Yeah, it is.
let's give these three guys a